Hey guys, and welcome to the new show, Let's Talk LEC. This will be a weekly podcast, if you like, about what's going on in the LEC, including current standings, results, news, and we'll throw in some rumours there that come out, and we'll see what's going on. Like I say, this will be weekly, so that we'll be posting these probably a couple of days after the games have taken place. So now that the introduction is over and done with, let's get into it. So we're currently in week 4. Yes, I have started this a bit late, but you know it's when things come to mind and stuff. So from now on, we will be pushing this forward on our YouTube channel, and hopefully down the line we may be doing some live watches of the games, and we'll have a chat with you guys. So you can see on here we've got all the logos, we've got the current team standings and stuff like that. So we'll keep you up to date with that. So this week just gone has been an amazing week in the LEC. We've had games that people thought were just going to be complete blowouts and ignored, and then we'll get on to my favourite topic, which is Misfits. So this week we have seen Origin and Mad Lions, XL versus SK, Team Vitality versus Fanatic, Shalker versus Rogue, G2 versus Misfits, and then day 2 was Vitality versus Misfits, Rogue versus SK, G2 versus Shalker, Origin versus XL, and Fnatic versus Mad Lions. So for me, the game of the week, this is definitely a game of the week. So we're not going off Riot's game of the week, even though we will talk about that later on and why that decision was made this week, was Misfits versus G2. When Misfits started out in this season after the horrendous season we had last year, not just the season, the whole year of last year, we were seeing massive downfalls. There's been some major team changes. So the pro team was removed last year. The academy team was brought in, all bar pretty much Hansama, who was here or not. And then that team's gone back as well. And we've pretty much got a full new team other than Featherton. Sorry about any mispronunciations in this, by the way. So our bot lane has come over from I think it's the Vodafone Giants team. Complete, pretty much rookie team. Dandan and Featherton being the longest two in there. Featherton being a long-standing pro. Dandan only stepping up last year and staying with the Misfits team, which by far is one of my favourite top laners in the game at the moment. So we came into this season. First, everyone was saying that Misfits were going to be 10th place, guaranteed 10th place. If you go back a few weeks and you look at anybody's predictions, be that Twitter predictions, be that Riot predictions, anything like that, Misfits were at the bottom of those standings. So Misfits have completely blown everybody out of the water. It didn't come off to an easy start, obviously, with the first 2 games that we played, lost the first weekend completely. And everybody looked like this is what they expected. So, Razork in jungle had a really bad couple of games. The bot lane didn't gel too well. And me, personally, I was relying on Dandan to show me something because we didn't see much of Featherton last year. Going into weeks forward, Misfits are currently on a 6-win streak. 6 games. Nobody is beating them on that win streak. G2 were 5 before Misfits beat them. So, Misfits as well seem to not really concern themselves with G2. I'm not saying they walked straight over them or anything like that. There was, it was pro games, but considering this is a rookie team versus a standing head team of Europe, Misfits did not seem to have that many issues. Is this because we're now seeing the downfall of G2? Is this what we've seen of like Fnatic in the past, where they were a top contender and they suddenly dropped to the end? We all remember when Reckless benched himself because he could not play in the current meta. Is this what we're seeing with Caps as an ADC? Personally, he needs to come out of that position and needs to swap back over to mid lane, because this is the season where we've all seen it before. It's Caps or Craps, and Craps is definitely back. G2 have not struggled until this week, and Misfits knocked them off their perch, and then they lost again. And they lost to Shalker. Shalker, who have not had a win this season until they played G2. Shalker, who are having so many problems that they brought in Forgiven, and everyone was like, the amazing ADC is back. He is back. They expected more, and he's been benched, and we're not sure if we're ever going to see him again. Many people out there are saying he is done now. His career is over. And if you go onto Twitter and you go onto Forgiven's Twitter, you will see that he has stated that Shalker were not in the mind to change their playstyle to become a winning team. Well, guess what? They benched you. They're now a winning team. And not only are they a winning team, they beat the kings of Europe. So I don't see you coming back, unfortunately. However much of a long history you have in the sport itself, I don't think we'll be seeing you around for much longer. So we'll move away from Misfits, even though as well, by the way, second day in, so February 15th, they beat Vitality as well, but Vitality are currently sitting 0-8 bottom of the table. Exactly where they thought Misfits would be. So let's move away from my current pride of Misfits into some other things. So we've seen Origin take on Mad Lions this week and Origin take on Excel. All three teams really are quite even, top to middle of the pack standings. Look at them. Obviously, we can see now that Origin is top of the pack, but we are seeing Mad Lions are now on a 5-3, and XL are on 4-4. Now, for me, the reason I have such an interest in Origin is actually because of Alfari. Alfari is one of the best top laners in the LEC. And when he left Misfits, it was a massive hit to me. I didn't think we'd recover from that. But I love watching him play on Origin. Origin are doing brilliantly at the moment. But for me, the team in this that needs to be spoken about is XL. XL in the UK Premiership League, whatever it's called. Sorry, I'm not quite sure. Are usually top of the table alongside Fanatic. Last year, their pro team in the LEC, I think, finished in the summer split anyway, I'm pretty sure was bottom 3. There wasn't much expected from them. And going into this season, we're seeing some brilliant games. We're seeing some absolutely outstanding performances from that team. And it's such a nice thing to see that these rookier teams, these teams that haven't been together for so long, are working their way up the ladder, and they are putting pressure on the likes of Fnatic and G2. So, Fnatic lose against Mad Lions. Mad Lions, again, are on a 5-3. Fnatic 5-3 as well, so they're drawing in the table. Don't get me wrong, I am not a fan of the Fnatic franchise, pretty much just because of Reckless, and I'm so glad to not see them at the top of the table. Not saying they're not a brilliant team. They play some damn good league, and it's, there's been some brilliant games over the time of them versus G2, where G2 were just completely dominating the whole European scene, and Fnatic last year just walked over them with one of their games, and I think it was done in under 20 minutes. Can't guarantee you on that, but that was done. So we're seeing here a really interesting standings at the moment. I don't think these standings are going to stay this way. I don't think Misfits are going to be top of the table. But I do believe that they will be in top 4 and they can contend for playoffs. I also think the same as that. Actually, to be honest, I don't think there's anyone in there other than Mad Lions and Shalker that can't go in for playoffs. It'll be really interesting if Shalker now suddenly jump on a win streak after replacing their jungle and their ADC and seeing where they go. But like I said, other than Shalker, really, I don't see anyone. Maybe SK Gaming. Yeah, SK Gaming probably can't contend for playoffs either. But I do see the top 4, including Misfits, G2, Origin, and then it's going to be Fnatic, XL, or Rogue in there for me. But we shall see. So moving on to the games coming up for us. So this week, Friday the 21st of February, only 2 days away from me recording this, we have Misfits versus Mad Lions. Should be a very good game. Obviously, we've seen Misfits are on their 6-game win streak. Mad Lions are currently 5-3. Keep in mind, this is the beginning of the season, so no matter how high or how low up the standings, really, it does not make a difference. Mad Lions are a good team, but I do want to see Misfits win that, and I want to see the early pressure. I want to see Razork dominate that jungle, and I want to see him. I don't necessarily want him on a comfort pit like Echo. Yes, he's got an 80% win rate as Echo in solo queue, but I do not want to see that. I want to see the variety, see what this guy has to offer. He has only been in the LEC for 4 weeks. We do not know much about his champion pool. We do not know what he can and can't carry with and what kind of impact he has in game. Recently, Echo was obviously an outstanding performance, but his Sejuani was also a brilliant performance. His worst performance so far has been on Jarvan. We hopefully will not see performances like that again, because not only was it, as a supporter of Misfits, it was horrible on my side, but it was horrible to watch games where they're just so simple and just walked straight over. We want the competition. You've got Vitality versus Shalker. Shalker, it's up in the air at the moment. They seemed a completely different team this past week. And if you can take down G2, you can take down anybody. But do Vitality have what it takes to stand up? Vitality are on a 0-8. So there's, this is going to be a very close game. However, do I see Vitality picking up their first win against Shalker? No, I don't. I see Shalker being energized by beating G2, and I see them being, unless they get overly cocky in this matchup, I see them dominating that game. XL versus G2. I would love to see XL come out on top here. Is Caps going to show up, or are we going to see another game of craps? I really think G2 need to look at this. They need to stop messing around. They need to be... Obviously, they are known as being the cocky team. They are known as the lads that are having a laugh and stuff like that. But I do not want to see Wunder stuck on a support top. I want to see... Wunder is a brilliant top laner. I do not want to see him playing Soraka. I don't want to see him playing Sona. You're essentially giving up on your lane there to go and feed and funnel somebody else in your team. I don't want to see that on him. I want to see him power through his lane and help support the rest of the team and carry through with the team. I want Caps going back into the mid lane. The stress Jankos is being put through, that poor man is trying to carry everything, and he seems to be the only one on the team that is actively putting an effort in to try and win this. The others, when you watch the live cams, seem like it's just a bit of a joke. But they've won that many times that it is just a bit of a joke to them, but not to Jankos. So it's going to be interesting to see how G2 continue. Personally, I think XL are going to want to take advantage of G2's downfall. I am not saying that G2 are going to be a easy win. Far from it. I think it will be a very close game. But I think it will be told very, very early on. Within the first 10 minutes, we will see what happens and who is going to win. Origin versus SK is up after that. Origin are currently 6-2, top of the table. SK are currently 2-6. I do believe this should be a relatively easy game for Origin. I'm expecting about a 20-25 minute game, and this should be over and done with. There's not much else for me to say there. Rogue versus Fanatic. This to me is interesting. Both teams are on 5-3. I do believe that Rogue are probably in a bit of a better position. Fnatic have these varies where they're a very unstable team. We've all seen the issues of last year with the rumours about Reckless and Broxer. We've seen the problems ever since Caps left. We've seen that Reckless takes things very personal depending on his team members. So we saw him in the interview last week where he said after Caps left that he absolutely hated Caps for making his team start again. And I really do think he takes on this personal issue and that gets put right onto the team, and they do not play their best in emotional situations. So whereas Rogue, I believe, even though they are not as good of a team on skill-wise, player-wise, but I do believe they are a more stable team. So depending on which version of Fnatic wants to show up this week, Rogue have a high possibility there of getting that win and knocking Fnatic further down that table. So moving into the Sunday, we have SK versus Vitality. That should be another easy win for SK. I do not, unless something changes in Vitality soon, I'm not expecting them to put up a big fight. XL into Shalker, I believe, is going to be much more interesting than just looking at the wins and the losses. All depending on how this new jungler and new ADC is settling in with Shalker, this could make for a very interesting game. Hopefully, though, I am supporting the UK here. I am hoping that XL are going to come out on top there, and I think it will be a really interesting game to watch. Misfits versus Rogue, again, is going to be a very interesting game. I really do believe that this game could be based on how the previous games from the Saturday work out. If Rogue come out on top against Fnatic and Misfits lose their winning streak, I think Rogue will have that performance to push them through. I think the mentality of how they think and the pressures that are on the teams, I think Rogue will push that through. But if Misfits stay in the current standing that they are and the massive performance, they are gelling together so well recently, then Misfits will come out on top. Mad Lions versus G2. Again, not another easy game on either side, but if G2 have sorted themselves out by then and are now looking at themselves as a proper team and they're back to playing some proper team comps instead of Pyke top, Sonar top or whatever, I think G2 should come out on top there. Origin versus Fnatic. I really do think Origin are going to come out on top there. Some people may be thinking, I'm looking at this and probably seeing it a little bit more biased than I should. Yes, I would prefer Origin to beat Fnatic. There is nothing better in my eyes than Fnatic being at the bottom of that table. However, I do believe that Origin are on the up. These rookie teams that have come through on these past years. Now, I'm not saying rookie is in their establishment, is a new company or whatever. I'm saying they're newly together, or they've brought people through the academy teams and stuff like that. And these teams are the ones at the moment that are showing more. I don't know if this is because the younger players are wanting to push more or willing to put more effort in, whereas the older players, and that towards the end of their careers, are now kind of going, I've been here a while, I'm not too fussed. Either way, this next week is looking to be an amazing list of games. I will hopefully be able to sit and watch every single one of them. And then I'll do this video again next week to talk about them. What I am thinking of doing is, if I can get there and watch them properly, is that we'll be, as well as this video, as a little, gathering of everything that's going on and what's coming down the line, I'm hoping that maybe we'll be able to watch some key games and I'll be able to break them down for you and talk about how it's gone each side, etc. But either way, guys, thank you for watching. I'm really excited about this new project and I hope you follow me along here. But see you again, guys. Bye.